and today I'm going to be showing you guys some more tech that we have for Quan Chi. Um, we're just going to get started with the basic stuff that I just found out, which is basically like um, if you do your forward ones, they pretty much, if you hold them down, they allow for you to kind of like do these indefinitely. So like they don't really cost you anything. As you can see, my bar is going forward, and it really like never slows down, right? As you can see, you can just get these back. So you're pretty much like always get your forward ones like for free, which means this is super powerful. You should be using it all the time. The only thing that's going to make your cooldown a little bit slower is if you do your like neutral button. So that's your overhead one, right? So I just switched sides and then I did this one, right? As you can see, it's going a little bit slower, right? And then let's say I switch sides again, right? Do it one more time, and then I'll go ahead and do the regular one here, and notice how it is also still slow. Now let's say you do a fast one, but then you do this one, it's also still going to give you the slowdown. So the moment you do one of the neutral cameo button is the moment that you're going to have to understand you need to like lead that into something that's long or long-winded, so that way you don't feel this cooldown. Now this works really well with Quan Chi because Quan Chi has like long-winded combos, so you can kind of keep this going indefinitely. However, for some characters who don't have like long combos and you can't really do this, but like pair this with the Johnny Cage and you can look at some serious work that you're doing here. But another thing that's really cool about this character is that whenever you're in Jade form, this here is something that you can do like kind of on reaction and still get away with. But the thing that makes it so good for Quan Chi is that this negates all projectiles, right? So that means people can't zone you, right? Which means this won't work or whatever. All of this stuff won't work. But what is cool is that this will work, which does the same thing, and this will work, which means you still have that kind of 50-50 game going for you at a range where people won't really think you can hit them from out here, right? So you can still play out here with your zoning, and they can't be like, oh, well, it's just gonna be that. Like they have to still hold this, right? Now, let's say again you're in this one, and hold on one second, and you're wanting to do this, right? So let's say you are wanting to do that. If again they're in that little mode, you're gonna be able to cancel out of that, right? We'll just let them sit in this for a little while, whatever, right? And done, right? So let's say they are sitting in that little mode, right? One cool thing that you can also do is you can throw this out, and that'll also catch people who are sitting in that. So you can use this as a kind of a mid-range spacing tool, right? So let's say the moment you see someone, oh, you got that? Okay, bet. Now you're gonna have to hold this, right? Now the crazy thing is, again, playing with the character like Quan Chi. Hold on one second. Come on. Let's see if I can quick. I probably won't be able to get it right now, but basically you can get combos off of this. Not anything crazy, but definitely enough to where you can be like, okay, wow, and then go into some stuff from here. But it's actually very scary. You can even go into this if you wanted to. So you have like quite a few options here, but being able to just kind of get this damage off of that is kind of absurd because you get to literally stop someone to wake up, right? You get to take away that, but also on top of them having all of this, this takes them out of that. And then most importantly, the most important one is this takes them out of that. So people can't zone you, but you still have all the tools that you need to mix someone up, right? Hold on one sec. Why is he not doing it? Oh, I'm tripping. Alright, so you have all the tools that you need to in order to kind of stop people. So it's not as simple as it is for other characters where they literally have no options, but for you, you have all your options, and you can still get some pretty decent whatevers from that. Now the thing that makes this really cool is that if you time that absolutely perfectly, whenever you're doing this, right, this one here, you can actually get combo damages from that, and I talk about this in one of my previous videos, but that allows for you to really like kind of make that deadly. So that's very good. But one thing that's also cool is that, hold on, let me get this right, something like that, right? So that's very cool. You can really kind of like go crazy with that. So you have quite a few options here, and all of them kind of work to your favor. So just know that this anti-zoning that he has is actually like really good, and it doesn't cost you anything. Now you might be asking yourself, why would you ever do your back? This is basically giving you kind of like a pseudo invis, but it's also kind of giving you armor as well, to where you don't take as much damage. Which, if you didn't know, right? If you look at this, right, halves the damage of the next receive attack, whether hit or block, which is really good at preserving life. But not only that, that really does add up with a character who has 900 health. So you can just kind of do this and then like kind of be up out of there. But the main reason why I like it is because it's gonna make Rain God honestly like really like kind of dumb. So say you do it, and then you immediately go. Let's say let's do it like this. Practice close, cool. Then we're gonna do it like this. So let's say you do it, right? I'm completely invisible in that bubble, right? So that's crazy. Right, as you can see, you can't see me at all. But if I just do regular bubble, right, you can still kind of see my silhouette and stuff like that. But if I do this, you can't see anything. Like that's pretty scary, you know. So whenever you're looking at like what you can get from that with Rain God, it's actually pretty good, especially when you start adding portals into all of that. It's gonna make you to where you can have like quite a lot of like cheese going on with that. So like the possibilities are endless with this. But the fact that this here allows for you to this here allows for you to negate projectiles to the point to where you can actually start punishing people. It's really good. So please do abuse that. And the moment that you want to use that however you want, you can kind of go crazy with that. So as you can see, you can just keep kind of like cycling through like that, right? And you do have to wait. So there's always going to be like a little waiting phase, but the good thing is like you can actually do this like while you're actually setting stuff up. So like you can like sit here, do this, and get prepared for a thing, right? So like for example, let's say I do this. Hold on. Hold on. Now, as you can see, I just cycled twice, like in between that. Now, this is going to take a little bit of time to get used to if you guys like are seeing what I'm doing. So basically, anytime you're doing anything, you can just press that whenever you want, right? So you can make it to where like certain things like just don't like you don't have to worry about them, right? So, and then like right there, let's say if you don't want to have to like ruin your hit reaction, but you're trying to get to a specific part, just do the ones that like have like no, you know, like stoppage on the cooldown, right? And then it allows for you to get the ones that you want, right? So the way to kind of make it to where you can kind of force Khameleon to be on the ones that you want is to use this back one. So that's back RB, right? Because you can kind of like do that as much as you want. And then once you do that, you're doing that while you're so like anytime you're in the middle of pressure, you kind of want to do that like that, right? So let's say you're like, okay, I don't want to sit on this one or whatever, and then I'm gonna go ahead and while I'm hold on, and then you're gonna press that one, and now you're into this other one, and then the moment you press this one, you hold it, and then now you're right back into blue. Let's say if you only want to play in blue, so it allows for you to kind of like keep the same pressure that you're looking for if you're only wanting to sit in a certain one, which is good. So that's how you kind of optimize Khameleon. Again, you press back. Now if you press back and your RB or your cameo button, you don't get to like, let's say if you like tap it right like that, right, you can go like pretty fast with that, right? Which is cool because that means you can like honestly like let's say you're doing this, you can do it again, and then you're back into the same thing. So you can honestly just keep cycling through it like that, right? You can even do like this, like that, right? And then you can go crazy into that like that. So like you do have like quite a bit of options here, but you're only gonna get it if like you're like actively like paying attention to it. So if you have like a character with like a crazy string or something like that, then you're definitely gonna have to like kind of be mindful of that. But that's how you cycle through it. Basically, you would do that, then you will go into whatever, do the other one, hold it down, and then you can go straight into whatever it is that you were looking for in the beginning, right? So let's say I started off with this one, right? And then I wanted to kind of go from here, right? Right? And then now look, I'm basically like switched out just because I did this in between one of them, which allowed for me to get wherever I wanted. So the ability to like control where you're actually going to be going with this cameo is actually going to be like second to none. So like for example, you can even just like throw it out just because you know you don't want to like sit on that because you're trying to force a certain scenario like this, right? And now you come back with this, and then now you have all of that again because of the fact that you're doing those. So you can really kind of make the switching kind of obsolete, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. It's not as intuitive as Trimmers was, but it definitely is going to be one that's going to take a little bit of skill, a little bit of button presses. You're definitely going to have to do it in between your like button presses like that, or you can just always just do the one that's going to, you know, it's going to like make it to where you don't have to like play off of it, if that makes sense. So like for example, these, right, if you don't want to do the back, because these are always going to be the ones that just kind of give you something during the fight, right? And so you can always just do those if you're wanting to switch quick. Just be mindful of the blue one because the blue one is going to take you out. So you can honestly just always just do that, and if it's not going to mess with your hit reaction, then you can just honestly press that however you want, and then like literally do like that, right? And you gotta wait for them to go away, right? But the moment they go away, you can kind of get into it. So yeah, like if you wanted to switch, you can literally go as quick as you want with this, and then you're waiting, and then you're going. So like as you can see, you can get through, you can get out of that pretty quick. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you guys about this cameo here, on how to switch like back and forth really quickly.